Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. This is just going to be a really quick video giving you an overview on our first major project number 1, which is, as you'll see, if you go to Blackboard and click on the left-hand tab under Lessons/Essays, what you then do is just click on the folder that says, I believe it's Essay Information. Let me see exactly how I worded it. Yes, Essay Information. Then the very first folder says Essay Number 1, Educational Experience. You will see there that within that folder you'll find the pre-writing, the peer review rubrics, all of the supplemental materials, and something else you want to note is that the essay is 15% of your grade. So you definitely want to take it as seriously as possible. And kind of to take the pressure off a little bit, one of my favorite facets of the first assignment is that you are going to be the expert. So you will not be using any other sources. As you know, you are the expert on your own experiences. And if you pull into that folder, one thing that you'll see is the first link is Essay Guidelines for Printing. If you open that document up, you will kind of see some of the pointers that I'm going to go over for you. Of course, I'm not going to read the prompt out loud. You'll have access to this, so you can, of course, read it, but I want to kind of give you a brief paraphrased version in conjunction with some of the notes that I think are most important. So you will need to think about narrating an educational experience from your own life. And it should be a significant experience that you learned from or that changed you in some way. Now, of course, any experience that you learned from or that changed you in a significant way can be considered educational. So you could describe an event from your formal education, from a work situation, maybe from social interactions, from something that happened within your family or cultural background, really any area of your life that something happened, an event that was significant and led you to change. So maybe change who you are, how you approach other people, the way you interact with others, the way you think, maybe even about education itself. So it could be kind of a matter of having an experience that influenced your idea of how education can change one's life, right? So if you think about it more in terms of describing an educational experience, you could focus on a time that your education was especially useful or was not especially useful. You could narrate a specific moment or a work experience that possibly led you to seek out further education. And of course, these are just some examples that you will see on the prompt. I did give you one more that led you in a little bit of a different direction than just education. Reflecting on how views of education were influenced by others. Yes, I meant to read the other one. Reflect on an event that changed your attitude or viewpoint on how you should interact with others, right? So any significant event that kind of changed your outlook on what it means to be blank, right? What it means to be loyal or what it means to be personable, or it doesn't even have to be that specific, right? Of course, I'm always open to talking if you need to brainstorm. The essay itself should be typed in MLA format. Remember that under course resources, I do have hang on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. So under course resources, I do actually have let's see, MLA template. So if you look under course resources, you'll see that there's a template on Blackboard on the left-hand tab, course resources, a template that just says fill in the blank MLA template. I think it's labeled just MLA template, but it opens in fill in the blank format. So make sure that you format this in MLA style. You should include your name in the left-hand corner, my name. You can either refer to me as Miss Flagus or Associate Professor Flagus. Our class, the due date. Okay, so make sure that you do the due date, and that should be in the order of day of the month, and the year. You should also make sure that you only include important details, okay? One thing I like to make sure you remember as well is, since you're not going to be using any outside sources, it's really important that you show the reader as specifically as possible what happened, right? You want to show your audience how and in what way this event changed you. Only you know that, right? So you're kind of bringing us into the scene, telling us about the event, what it kind of did to change your life, and how and in what way it altered it. You might think about making sure that you're not just telling us, first I went here and then this happened and then that happened, right? Put us in the scene. Show us where you are. You can include things like dialogue. You want to describe the details around you, right? You can put us in the scene by including scenery, imagery, elements of that nature. You should be sure that you should present your thoughts about the events and the significance of the event clear to the reader, right? So you should make sure that you present what it is about the event that really changed you and its significance clear, probably as early as the thesis statement. One thing to keep in mind with your thesis is that it needs to have 3 points, right? So if you scroll down to the very bottom of the essay or project, rather, number 1 prompt, you'll see I said to begin your thesis, you might start with a template, which of course can always be adapted, that reads, so something like blank, meaning the experience, evolved my viewpoints on blank, blank, and blank. So those 3 points would then develop into the body paragraphs, right? That very first point would be what coincides with your first body paragraph. That second point would be what coincides with your second body paragraph. And the third would be what coincides with the third. Some other examples include X experience is what X stands for, changed how I interact or react rather in conflict. So X changed how I react in conflict. For instance, after X, I now X and X and X. Okay. So you can see another one is X experience changed how I perceive blank, blank, and blank. It could be that an experience had you grow in appreciation for something, right? Like your education or your culture. So maybe blank experience allowed me to better appreciate my Greek culture. The facets of my Greek culture I took for granted prior, including blank, blank, and blank. Okay, so what we're thinking about is the 3 points that really were educational for you. And you are the one that's kind of bringing the events to life for the readers and educating them on how and in what way the event changed you. You will see quite a bit of, details in the prompt. Of course, you can read those. There should be an introduction to the essay. So we're thinking about 5 to 6 paragraphs. It's 900 words. And you should have a hook in the introduction. You should also have a little bit of background information to bring us into the scene or the event that changed your life. And then, of course, establish a clear thesis statement as the last sentence of your first paragraph. The narrative should then be developed into several paragraphs. So, of course, you should begin with a new paragraph, the first body paragraph that should start kind of dramatically, vividly, giving us a clear indication of where this event took place. We should kind of be able to see it. We don't want to just be told, right? So if it took place at a train station, what did it look like, right? What did it smell like? What were the sounds like? You want to kind of bring those details to life. For the conclusion, of course, that's your last paragraph. You want to make sure that you answer that so what question, right? So what was the significance of the educational value of the experience that you've narrated? Maybe how would you be a different individual had this not happened and changed your life? You will also see a few things in the prompt about what makes a good narrative, so I do advise reading that. So thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this short video. As always, please just let me know if you've got questions, and I look forward to working with all of you on this assignment as well as reading them once you produce them. Have a great day. Bye.